Oh, God. They're just rolling in one thing after the next today. That's so good that you're not going to get a drop of it. But this one, I have to get out before they keep going. They were showing me a very religious person arguing for their limitations and arguing for Jesus. And I was like, don't get me wrong. I love Jesus too. He's coming to me too. I've been trained by him and read his teachings, and you have to understand he was just like all of us too, a vessel with a choice, and what he chose and what he was willing to do, and take a look at his shadow and rise up. And you have to be able to hear through all that. But this religious person was in fear. That's what most religious people, that's our base. If you can get to religion, then that's your base and you're supposed to go up from there. But most people stop there out of the fear. So out of that fear, it's like Jesus is your gateway. He'll either rise you up or keep you stuck. It's up to you. But you have to bust through that illusion. But so many people so believe a lot of the teachings on the flat level, on the lower level, on the fear-based level, they're reading it at those lower energies, that they take it so literally that fear keeps them stuck and bound to those lower energies and vibrations. And because they truly believe it, because they've regurgitated, because they've passed it down, because it's so deeply embedded in their DNA, in their coding, in their thought forms, in their surroundings, in their regurgitation, in their repetition, in their going to the middleman every week, all of this is so deeply embedded. One, to face that's what they chose, even though they're not happy for so long, is horrific in itself. To turn and face that truth and bust through that illusion is scary because it goes against everything they believe. So that it's like heartbreaking for the ego, but it's also heartbreaking because a lot of them are such good people coming from their heart, thinking they truly are doing, quote, the right thing. Do you hear? So it's like they were showing Jesus can be your angel or your devil, right? It represents all of this in the teachings. It explains all this in the teachings, but I really liked how they showed this visualization and how they verbalized it was along those lines of he's the gateway. He'll either rise you up because you're able to bust through your illusions and fears, you're able to face them, you're able to swallow the hard truths, you're able to stand in that reality and still be upright. Still, come from your north node, you're able to flip to your north node, you're able to still be sane, right? Other people, they'll break so they won't keep pushing. So then they'll just stay stuck and stagnant below, right? That ceiling, they can't bust through. So they'll go up to their limit. So Jesus will be their God, will be their limit, will be their cap. Others he'll let them pass through because they've passed the test. And it's kind of like they're showing step on him, meaning he'll raise you up, he'll lift you up because you can pass through him, you can go above him now. Now you have earned the right to pass through, to go above. You've busted through the barriers needed to now make him the floor, the base, the demon, the devil, meaning the less than, meaning you're expanding, you're growing, you're evolving past that, right? So it's like he's that gateway. And forgive me for all this, it's just how they're showing it. So I'm sure there's plenty out there I don't know, but they're showing this is why a lot of religious people get truly, truly stuck there. And I can relate to that. I think that's why they show me it this way a lot of times. I can understand that. I understand that mentality. I understand that fear riddling the body, right? Freezing the body, keeping people stuck and stagnant because of all the things I just said. I mean, they truly, truly, truly believe it. And they truly, truly, their ego also wants them to believe it because the alternative means they were wrong and they chose the pain. Right? It is mind blowing, right? It does tear you to shreds. And again, it's like, it also gets people stuck in the details and in the weeds and keeps them busy and preoccupied from stepping back and looking at the bigger picture, and understanding the words and the labels, right? Like Jesus was the representation of the energy, of the ability of human choice, that choice of free will of to move to your north node, to rise from the dead, right? To not be stuck and stagnant and stubborn and controlled and held down, to not continue to be dumb and repetitive, not to be heathens, not to be autopilot, not to be robotic, but to actually think on your own, to make a choice for yourself, to choose better, to know you're worthy, but you're proving it to yourself. And it can be a battle of a lifetime. It can be, for some of us, extremely challenging, especially depending on how you were indoctrinated. And again, I'm using my terminology, but it's the same as whatever your equivalent is in whatever your religion is, right? Even if it is God, source, Allah, right? You have to up level and pass a lot of that, but it's still understanding there is the highest and greatest of all. And so again, it can be confusing with words and terminology and understanding. There's just so many layers and depths to it that it doesn't ever end, and it is forever satiating, and it is forever enticing, because you do float, and that feels amazing, right? And that's what we're always looking to do. And so it is chasing that high. And you've heard all of this a million times, but the more you experience it in whatever way you open to it, the more all of that resonates, and the more all of it screams the patterns. Even if some of the people who regurgitated that stuff or understood that stuff weren't at your level, it doesn't matter, because you can still then hear all the patterns. In other words, there's things that, depending on where you are in your journey, they could resonate with you, and you understand the truth deeper and more profoundly than even the person who created whatever they created, right? Because they created it with the universe, and the universe seeped through that truth through them. But that doesn't mean that they fully resonate with, or they fully get it on the level you get it. Good example is me, right? When I get on here and do this, right? They're teaching me too, and they're coming through me too, and I'm learning too. And there's many different levels of integration and up-leveling all along the way. And I come back and listen a lot because I need to learn too. So it's not that I'm learning from me, from Karin. I'm learning from the open vessel that I'm allowing myself to be for unconditional love to channel through me and utilize my vocal cords, right? And to utilize me as a vessel. And I can feel it in my body, and I can visualize it in my mind, and we can explain away a lot of these things. Who cares? But when you experience it and feel it, then it's almost like you question it less and less, because you begin to know it, because you embody it. You no longer are questioning as much because you start to embody it. So it's integrated. It's like into your DNA. It's like it is coded into you. It becomes who you are. You know it, right? But this takes time, and it never ends, right? Because I feel like, even though it does feel like they're always teaching me essentially the same thing, yes, we can always simplify it down to the simplest form. It's almost like I need to understand all the depths for it to integrate further. And I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing all the layers. I enjoy them teaching me all the different things. Like they were showing me earlier today, you know how they've shown before, like let the hair grow, or don't let them drink wine, or like they'll say different things in the Bible, and it's referencing like don't drink the wine, like meaning don't get drunk on what other people are telling you. Don't get enticed in by their sweetness. Don't let them blow smoke up your ass, where that's pumping up your ego, right? It's not feeding your soul. The only thing that'll feed your soul is your direct connection. The haircut, it's like, I think it said but somewhere it talks about it talks about different times at different places to cut it and don't cut it, to look at it. And to me, it's like, it's your beliefs, right? So sometimes it's important to take a look, to have like inventory, like to have maintenance of your hair. Take a look at your beliefs. Take a look at what's leading your show. Take a look. It's important to have those check-ins so that you don't get overgrown, right? And simply because if you get overgrown in the wrong direction, cutting through those weeds is challenging. Getting back to yourself is tough. So it's like, have those regular check-ins with yourself. Other times it says not to cut their hair. Like I think it says for one of the people not to cut their hair. As soon as they're born, never cut their hair. And it was something along these lines. It's let their imagination grow. Let their imagination go wild. Let them stay connected. Let them have all of that, because they really just can have everything and are everything and need to remember they're everything. But if you start to implant your beliefs or start to steer them or control them or do all these things, you tangle in weeds in there and seeds in there, and it can get all kerfuffled. And so it's said many different ways, but I'm just suggesting that we can hear it on these different layers and levels and understandings and how we take it. Right? They'll take me to the same story over and over and again at different vibrations, but also at different integrations. So, say I'm at level 1 and they have me at all the different vibrations, but then I finally reach level, let's say 3. Once I reach level 3, then it's integrated that much further, and then they take me to hear some of the same stories at all those different vibrations. Same story, but now it is heard 20 different ways, right? Because you're hearing it, and really so much more than that, millions of different ways. But I'm just trying to simplify just simple numbers in that there's just so many depths and layers to everything. The more we're loving ourselves and are connected to ourselves and our higher selves and unconditional love, the more we can hear all those truths, and it just feels amazing, just for feeling amazing. Right? And to be able to flow through life with that happy attitude, moving from your North Node, makes all of life so much more enjoyable and so much more pleasurable. And so it's like everybody can do this. Everybody has the ability to do this. It's whether everybody chooses to do this. Many are called, right? So many are going to get the knock on the door. Many are at a point where they're able, they're capable, they're desiring, wanting to feel better, to do better, hear better, understand better. So they'll get the knock at the door. Will they answer it? Some will answer it. They'll get tested, and they won't get chosen because they'll fail time and again because they're not capable of rising to a higher vantage point. They get stuck arguing for their limitations. They get stuck debating why they can't. They get stuck on their excuse book. They get stuck on their limits. They get stuck in their ego. They get stuck in their pride. They get stuck in their envy, jealousy, revenge, hatred, lower energies. They get stuck there, and they're not willing to bust through. So they don't get chosen. They get tossed back into the mix. And maybe they'll come around again. Maybe they won't. Maybe this lifetime. Maybe never again. Right? And so it's always up to us. And so it's like the idea of always be ready, meaning always want to feel good. So figure out how to feel good. So you're always wanting to love yourself and learn yourself. And if you're always doing that and attempting to operate from your highest and best, which is in turn for the highest and best of all, then yeah, maybe you'll get a knock again, but you'll be ready that time because you've continued to, quote, do your work, love yourself, have fun, and operate in the best interest of all. And so all this being said, they're also showing something here, and I'm trying to figure out how to say it politically correctly almost, where it's, what is it that you're showing and how can I say that without, it's like I'm going to ruffle the feathers of those that are heathens in that. It's like, okay, so they're showing that says many are chosen, meaning not all are chosen. It's, what is it? Many are called, few are chosen, right? Okay, because you have to choose yourself. You have to know you're worthy. You have to bust through all that. There's a lot to learn. So many are called, right? Not all are called, meaning there are so many in your lifetime that are meant to operate as heathens. They are meant to operate as less than, not for anything other than one, balance, because you need to be able to see the light and the dark. You need to be able to choose for yourself. You need to be able to see the options. Do you want to stay gnashing and hatred and anger and blame and judgment and, on that side? And you see it with, let's just say hate groups, right? They're literally groups of hatred that breed on one another. And that hatred grows because they breed it, right? And they believe it and they regurgitate it. And it's that kind of thing where it's almost like until they want to grow and expand and face all their shadow and now all the karma they've accumulated, they'll continue to remain there. So they won't be called. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's like they have major work to do before they can be called. So that's why it's not all are called, right? It's if you continue to choose to swim down there, that's where you continue to choose, right? But if your truest heart's desire is your true north and you're stuck, like bred into one of these hate groups, and you've always felt that offness, then it's up to you. It's like that struggle to get the fuck up and out of it. And I imagine that will be the fight of your life, right? But it's also signaling to the universe your truest heart's desire and your effort and willingness to do such and to learn your lessons. And, and then maybe you will be one of the many that are called. Does this make sense? Again, I like that they use extremes because I feel like people can hear that and visualize it and understand it better. I certainly can. That's why they show it to me in the way that they do. And it makes also logical sense to me as to why it says many are called and not all are called. Because we need the balance. We need to be able to see the contrast. We need to be able to decide and have the free will. We need to be able to choose. We need to be able to determine what does feel good and what doesn't feel good. And even when we're mixed into the wrong bunch and our mind is conflicting with our body, we need to be able to distinguish that tug of war, that pain. And we have to have that desire to want the pain to go away. We have to have that desire to feel good above our ego out of fear telling us to stay in pain because it's wiser or smarter, right? That's the ego tricking you, the devil tricking you, your lower self tricking you, your heathen self tricking you, your survival tricking you, right? So it's survival mode. It's not thriving mode. It's not abundance mode. It's not growth mindset. It's not love of oneself. It's not worthiness. No, it's the opposite. Oh, and there was something regarding that. Oh, there was something else they were telling me about. I think we'll have to get into it another one because they are going a billion miles a minute over here. I'm loving it and floating in it. It's good. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.